Carboniferous rainforest collapse. Carboniferous period. Carboniferous period took place from 300 to 360 million years ago, and it started off with very warm climate. So there were lots of humid rainforests that gave habitat to a lot of different species. However, over the time, the climate became much cooler and drier, which caused a lot of mass extinction in a lot of different plant species, and caused a lot of members of the tetrapod family to go find a new habitat that was warmer than the new climate. So the cause of the climate change. During this time period, the Earth began to form coal for the first time. So coal formation sequesters carbon dioxide removed from the atmosphere by plants, which makes the Earth cooler because there are less greenhouse gases in the atmosphere that are going to trap the heat from escaping the atmosphere, and it keeps the heat on the Earth's surface, which makes it warmer. Earth also saw some of the highest levels of oxygen ever, which is 35% because of this. Uh, and I have a little graph over here on the left that shows the spike at around 300 million years ago, a spike of oxygen levels. So, results of climate change. Because of the Earth's new, cooler climate, the sea levels began to recede, which gave way for the cold swamps, making the climate even more moist and cold than it already was. This water would end up traveling up to the South Pole, and it would freeze up there because it was already cold up there. And this created a lot of glaciers, which caused the worldwide overall climate to cool even more than it already had. This also affected the landscape because more mountains were formed because of this, and then the land also became more barren because of how cold it was at this point. So the climate results continued. The new climate also had an effect on many different species living during this time period. Many plant species went extinct due to the cold temperatures, and many members of the tetrapod family were forced to go and find new habitats in order to survive. Amphibians, they were also negatively affected because they struggled to adapt to the new environment because of the cool temperatures. However, it did benefit some species, being reptiles. With the new climate, these reptiles were able to lay their eggs on land to protect them, and their scales helped them thrive in the new climate. So rainforest collapse. Before the climate change, rainforests used to be everywhere around the world. After the climate became cooler, the rainforest could only be found around the equator, like what we have today. This collapse also led to the first mini ice age during the Paleozoic era, and started a trend for what was to come in terms of climate. So that was my presentation. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed.